We're here in Python and we're just going to recap some variables. So in order to make a variable, we're going to name it. So I'm going to call it variable, not a very creative name. And there's two types of variables we're going to talk about. I use the equal sign. This is actually an assignment. It doesn't say that it is equal to, but it's going to assign whatever values on the right side of the equal sign to the variable on the left. So I've named that one variable. I'm going to put quotations, and what that means is this is going to be a string. In other words, a line of characters in text. So I might say, hello there. I know you were going to think I was going to say hello world. So now I've assigned variable, the name or the string, hello there. I'm going to give another one. These are not very good names, by the way. We'll get up better ones after. We'll talk about that. Variable 2, okay? And I'm actually going to assign this one a numeric value. We'll give it the number 5, okay? So I have these two things here, variable and variable 2. Again, not great names. And I want the program just to print them out for me. So you may be familiar with the print function. And what this does is it just prints out concepts. It prints out whatever's between these two brackets on the console here, okay? So I'm going to say print variable. And then I'm going to run this program, okay? So to start the program, what's going to happen here is it's going to assign the variable named variable, hello there, the string, and then it's going to assign the variable called variable 2, the number 5. So when I say print variable, it should print hello there. That's exactly what it did, okay? In fact, we'll get it to print 2 things. What's wonderful about these computers, they can do so many things. We'll call this one variable 2, okay? And when I go to run this program, it should print hello there and 5. It gave us that value, okay? Now what's important here is we recognize that there's a difference between a string and an integer, okay? Why this is important is because if I decide to put it like this, okay, hello there, and in brackets, and then I put 5 in, not brackets, sorry, quotations, this actually considers this a string. This is no longer an integer. And integers we can do mathematical operations with. Strings we can't really. We can just put them together. So I might be able to say variable plus variable 2. Whoops, that needs to be all together. Okay, and I'm just going to comment this one out for now. And we'll notice when I go to run this program, it says hello there, no space, 5, right? Which makes sense because I can't really add hello there to the number 5. Numerically, it doesn't make sense. So if I were to change this back to an integer and try to run the exact same thing, we'd run into a problem. And the problem is because this is an integer, a numeric value, and this is a string, a list of characters. And the program saying to me, I don't know how to add a number to a list of characters, okay? So it's very important that we realize that there's difference between different types of variables, okay? There is a neat little way we can get around this, okay? And if I put it to that, and let me say, let's say I make this variable 1 the number 2, okay? So if I were to add these two together, okay, when I run the program, it should give me 7. See, it actually carries out the mathematical operation of adding 2 and 5, okay? But let's say 2 was a character or a string. I'm going to run into that exact same problem. Even though it looks like the number 2, the program says, hey, this is a string and this is an integer. I can't put them together. There's a neat little function in Python called int. I believe that's what it is. And what that will do is it'll convert this string, as long as it's a numeric value in the string, back to an integer. So if I put it in the function int, there we go. It converted this string number 2 to the integer 2, which allowed us to add these two things. So it's a little extra on top. That's just because it's going to help us with the next part of what we're doing, but I wanted to make sure you're aware of this idea. Okay, so the big key here was how to assign values to variables, which I didn't name very well, and the difference between string and integer variables.